How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal in this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the prices going up or down. House crypto bill won't restrain SEC and could threaten DeFi, legal experts say. U.S. lawmakers rolled out a much-anticipated digital asset bill yesterday, raising hopes that it would end what the crypto industry sees as an unfairly hostile regulatory environment. But some experts say that the bill's vague language, in particular a provision that could threaten the DeFi market, won't do much to hold back the SEC and its enforcement approach to crypto. It now includes a number of exemptions for what qualifies as a digital asset, but Shapiro says that the language around the exemptions for what counts as a security leaves many DeFi assets like liquidity stake tokens unprotected. They say that it leaves a backdoor for the SEC to come in and see what's decentralized or what's not. The bill, called the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, aims to readdress what the sponsors say are the many shortcomings of the current regulatory regime. Lawmakers include new definitions around digital assets, carved out certain exemptions, and set up lanes for registering cryptocurrency exchanges with both the SEC and the CFTC. In the text of the new bill, a digital token sold as part of an investment contract does not itself immediately qualify as a security. In the previous version, digital tokens themselves were still counted as securities if offered as part of an investment contract between parties. Stallway suspects that the update is an effort to harmonize the bill with the recent ruling by the federal judge in favor of Ripple Labs for the XRP token. The House bill also attempts to address what is decentralized by making a legal definition of decentralization, hereby codifying into law what it means for a crypto project to be sufficiently decentralized and therefore exempt from SEC registration. Boyson cautioned, however, that the bill leaves the same gray area on the SEC to make this determination. So there's a few issues with the bill that people are worried about because it leaves a gray area for the SEC to come in and still do regulation by enforcement. SEC asserts that XRP case was wrongly decided, signals appeal. So, according to a new set of documents filed in the Terraform Labs case yesterday, the SEC is now hinting at appealing the Ripple ruling. They are trying to basically say that the Howey test was wrongly applied in the court, and that they want to go after the court ruling and say that the Howey test should be applied differently. However, the judge said the same about Gary, so they're arguing about how to apply the Howey test. Friday's filings against Terra and Do Kwon show that the SEC believes that the judge in the Ripple case should dismiss its recent rulings related to the retail sales of XRP. The court must draw reasonable inferences in the SEC's favor because they purchased the assets and viewed them as an investment opportunity into Terraform's efforts. So they're saying that Ripple did the same, and that's kind of why they want to reverse the ruling. So over on the daily, for our total market cap for everything except Ethereum and Bitcoin, we are coming back down to our support area. Our RSI is starting to bend away, momentum is coming out, money flow is still struggling, our VWAP is rejecting away from that neutral line, and our stochastic is starting to make a little bit of a dip, so we could see a break of this support line. Over on our Bitcoin dominance, we are trying to get another green candle. It's not that strong of a green candle though, as our money flow is coming out. RSI is trying to head up, but our stochastic's not really going anywhere. Our VWAP is in the bullish territory, but it's not going anywhere too strongly currently, so just watch out if it starts to roll over. If it does roll over, our momentum would likely get a red dot and come back under. Over on our futures, we are testing the bottom of our flag, so we are making that bottom weaker every time we touch it. So we have touched many times currently, like 4 or 5 touches in the last few days. Our RSI is sliding, stochastic is in the overbought area or oversold area, so our stochastic doesn't have much strength. Our VWAP is struggling to gain any strength in this bearish territory and starting to taper off. It could push back down and gain more bearish momentum. Our momentum wave is coming down, and if that VWAP does push back down, we'll likely see a red dot and the momentum wave start to continue downwards. Real quick, if you haven't already liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Also join our Discord with the link down below and check our Reaper Apparel Co merch. But our RSI overall is sliding. Our money flow is taking a little bit of a dip. We are getting close to that neutral line, so we could break through. Stochastic is pretty oversold, so Stochastic doesn't have much strength at all. Our VWAP is doing the same as our futures, where we're struggling under that neutral line and have bearish momentum. So again, if we get a push back down, we could see a red dot on this momentum wave. That could bring us even lower, and that could play that double top. So we are riding just under this flag on Bitcoin. So we are trying to stay near it, but we are dropping away from it. So we could get a breakdown toward one of these higher volume areas. Over on the 4-hour, we have some manipulation X's that could bring us down. We're getting lower highs, so overall we're starting a down channel. RSI is heading down, Stochastic's heading down, money flow is struggling to maintain strong bullish momentum. Our VWAP is heading down pretty strongly in the bearish territory, and our momentum is following suit. So if these continue, we'll see more bearish action. If that money flow breaks into the bearish territory, we're likely going to see the daily break as well. Over on the 2-hour here, we are getting a little bit of a push. You see we tried to come up and push through this resistance area. However, we got rejected, so it is not support. Stochastic is falling pretty strongly. RSI is falling. Our momentum is pretty hard in the bearish territory and overall falling. Our money flow overall is getting lower lows and pushing away from that neutral in the bearish territory. And our VWAP is struggling to come up and break through this -9 zone in the bearish territory. So if we reject away from here, we could get another push back down. Over on the 1-hour, our RSI is overall sliding. Stochastic's overall sliding, very weak. Our VWAP is rejecting away from that neutral. Money flow is rejecting away as well, very strongly. Momentum is coming down, so if that VWAP pushes even lower, that momentum's likely to come down even lower. Over on graph for the daily, we are pushing back down in our pattern, so we did not manage to invalidate it on the daily. Our RSI is pushing down, Stochastic's starting to round off. Money flow is getting toward that neutral, so it could make a break here and go bearish. Our VWAP is getting a rejection away from the neutral, and our money flow has broken in the bearish territory. So overall, everything's pointing more bearish here as well. If we look over at the 4-hour, we have some manipulation X's all over. Stochastic is pushing down, RSI is pushing down. Our momentum wave is in the bearish territory pretty decently. Our VWAP is rejecting away. It was trying to come up, so overall, everything's a little more bearish. Money flow is coming down, getting close to that neutral, so if we break, we could push into the bearish territory with that and see the daily start to fall as well. Over on the 2-hour here, our RSI is starting to lose its strength. Stochastic wanted to head up, but starting to make a bearish cross that could bring us down. Our money flow tried to break into the bullish territory, but got rejected several times and is starting to fall away. Our VWAP is starting to curl away from that neutral as well and push back down toward the bearish territory, so that's bringing our momentum wave back down as well. So overall, everything's looking a little more bearish leaning than bullish currently. Over on the 1-hour here, our RSI is overall sliding, Stochastic is heading back down. Money flow broke into the bearish territory after holding in the bullish territory for some time, so that bullish strength was not able to maintain and carry over. Our VWAP is pushing in the bearish territory, and our momentum is getting a red dot because of it, so we are pushing lower here. If this continues, we could break back down. You see on the lower time frames, we are above this pattern, so we could push back down on the lower time frames, go back in this pattern, and then see it play out. Over on Anchor for the daily, we do have this wedge, so keep that in mind. RSI wants to head up, but we're getting lower highs. Stochastic has a bullish cross, but it's not really playing out too strongly currently. Our momentum wave has a green dot as our VWAP broke into the bullish territory and is pushing up, but it's not pushing up too strongly, so just be cautionary if it rolls over. Our money flow is starting to taper out, so money flow isn't really coming in, and we're not really going very far. Over on the 4-hour, we have this reversal with the green dot. Usually that signals you'll get a reverse trend with bullish momentum, so you'll get a bullish push up. That should have brought us away from our pattern, however it's struggling to take us anywhere. Stochastic is trying to get a bullish cross. RSI is trying to head up. Our momentum does have a green dot, but is overall sliding. Our money flow is trying to make higher highs, but is pushing back down. And our VWAP is in the bullish territory, but it's very weak, and if it rolls over here, we could lose the strength on that momentum wave and push back under. Over on the 2 hour here, you see we have a lot of very weak candles, so we're not really going anywhere. RSI is pretty flat too. Stochastic is trying to get a bullish cross. Our momentum wants to make a bullish cross. VWAP wants to push up, but it's not really gaining much strength. So just be watchful if it starts to roll over. If it rolls over and heads in the bearish territory, we could get a drop from here. Our money flow is getting lower highs, and we are pushing down, so we are making new lows. So if that continues and we push even lower, our money flow could start to go toward the bearish territory on us. Over on Anchor on the 1 hour, you see we had a little gap up, we dropped down, filled that gap. That's an example of how gaps fill. Had one here where we dropped down, we jumped up, filled that gap. Had a gap here, so multiple instances. Stochastic is trying to run up, RSI wants to run up, our momentum wave wants to come up, our VWAP is heading down toward that neutral, so if our VWAP breaks bearish, our momentum wave will get a red dot on it, and that could start to roll over. Our money flow was in the bullish territory, tried to maintain and didn't successfully maintain that bullish strength. So overall, we are falling into the bearish territory. We are trying to come up for a retest, so if we get rejected from a retest, we could see further bearish action. Over on XRP for the daily, we are taking a little bit of a drop away from that golden pocket, especially with the news we just got today. Stochastic is pushing down, our RSI is pushing down, momentum is falling, money flow is rejecting away, our VWAP is pushing down pretty strongly in the bearish territory. So overall, everything's leaning more bearish than bullish. Over on the 4 hour, we are getting a push away from that manipulation X, so that's finally playing out. RSI is pushing down, it has a green dot, so that wants to bring us back up, so that could be a hopeful signal for us. Our money flow is getting close to that neutral zone, so that money flow could break bearish. And the stochastic is oversold, so the stochastic's pretty beat down. The VWAP wants to come back up, so that wants to push our momentum up. If that's successful, we could get another push up toward that golden pocket. Over on the 2 hour here, our stochastic is starting to round off, so we are losing strength. Our size overall pushing down, money flow is in the bearish territory. We weren't able to hold bullish strength. Our VWAP's making lower lows, trying to retest and come up, so we'll have to see if it breaks through bullishly strongly. Our momentum is overall sharply coming down, but if that VWAP goes bullish, it could come back up. Over on the 1 hour, we are starting to get a bit of a curling top here that could drop us lower. Stochastic and RSI are falling together, VWAP's about to break into the bearish territory, and our money flow is falling away from that neutral pretty strongly. Our momentum wave is going to push down, so if that VWAP breaks bearish, we'll see another red dot. Finally, for algo on the daily, we are still trying to break through that point of control, but not really going anywhere. Stochastic wants to get a bullish cross, but not really getting too far right now. RSI is pretty flat, VWAP's pretty flat, but it is in the bullish territory. Our momentum wants to come up through that. Neutral, so if that momentum can make a push, we could get some momentum to the upside. Our money flow is starting to push higher with slight higher lows, so we'll have to see if that can continue and that can actually head toward the neutral and gain some ground. Over on the 4 hour, our stochastic's starting to push away, RSI is starting to push away, momentum is pushing away with a red dot. Our money flow is starting to get new highs, but we are starting to round off, so just keep a watchful eye if we get new lows as well. Our VWAP is pushing under that neutral, so our VWAP is losing strength. So keep an eye as we have some bearish signals. We also have a manipulation X, so we could see further downside and go to our value area low here. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic wants to get a little bit of a curl, so we may have a bullish cross in the next few candles. Our RSI is pushing down. Our money flow is about to break into the bearish territory after trying to hold in the bullish territory. Our VWAP is about to get some new lows and is pushing down. So overall, we're looking a little more bearish leaning than bullish here. And finally, on the 1 hour, RSI is dropping off. Our stochastic is getting a bearish push. Our money flow has broken into the bearish territory. Our VWAP and our momentum are pushing down into the bearish territory pretty strongly. So overall, it looks like we could get some more downside if we don't get any bullish action and a push off of this kind of support zone that we have in here, where we have multiple kind of sticking points. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.